I always say that I would be that person that doesn't die in a horror movie because I would never go in that dark alley or that spooky house or that abandoned hotel. But here I am because Ben is the kind of person that would die in a horror movie.
Go and have a look. We are Ben and MP, and for the past 4 years we've been rebuilding a boat that was once doomed to sink. Now she's finally sailing and we're finally living the life we've dreamed of. But with a boat that's still not 100% ready, every day is a balance between sailing, working and making the most of wherever we are. And today is no exception. We'll set sail, make some essential improvements to our brand new davit system and dive into something a little different. An abandoned hotel with a haunted past. Who is up for the adventure?
We have a new favorite thing to do on board of Yabá, which is sailing. Now that we have the 3 sails, they are fixed, they are strong. We also have the furling working properly, so sailing is very, very pleasant, and that's all we want to do all day, every day, just go sailing to places, and it's very, very nice. We just need to now have discipline to do other stuff with our life because we really just want to sail now.
Almost there already. I have bad news. We've arrived already. We need to turn the engine on because that's our destination.
Okay. Sailing is not really for those who are in a rush, right? And that's not our case today. We have a place to be and a time to be there. So engine is on and we are heading on an adventure. We found, looking on Google Maps, a pier, and we're gonna go there to meet our welders to see if we can finish reinforcing our davit system so we can finally start lifting our dinghy with more ease and more confidence. So probably this is the last time that we are dragging the dinghy behind Yabá. Hopefully that's the case. So I'm very curious to see how this pier will be. We don't have much information about draft or anything, so it is a little adventure, but for a good reason. Well, Ben is at the helm. My job is to make sure we don't run into any fishing nets, and I can see that there are many flags here, so I really have to keep an eye to tell Ben where to go.
About to arrive, and it's quite funny because we found this based on, I was at the factory with him where he welds, and it's like, oh, here on Google Maps this looks like a nice pier, so I put some fenders out, but like I don't even know if this pier will have cleats or anything to fasten a line onto, so we'll make it work either way, but I'm quite curious.
pier has no cleats, also no tires for protection, and the height of the cement is going to be hitting the top of our rail. It's going to be difficult to protect it with fenders. And as the welders don't need to carry something big like the davit like the previous time, it's just small pieces, I think we're just going to anchor and do it by the dinghy to the pier to pick them up, but that would be the best solution. Okay.
Put the brake on, it's like 2 meters. Awesome. Okay, we'll see. We'll tell them that we've arrived and we'll pick them up.
And after just a couple of turns, we are now by the pier.
I don't think it will, when the chain tightens. The welders did some measuring, cutting and marking, then they left for lunch. They came back and this is the weather we have to work with for now. So we've put on a massive tarp. This weather's massive, but of course you can't really see on the camera, but we put up a massive tarp over the platform for them to work. So hopefully we can get this job done today and then we're off to a more sheltered area. How cool is that? You can be on a boat moving all around the waves and still weld thanks to waterborne batteries and the equipment they sent us. Today was hectic and amazing. They worked really hard. The welding company Yabá, these from here, just over here, that's why we came here. The one thing I really want to do right now, and I was looking forward to, is playing with our new toy and hoisting the dinghy. However, I want to do it properly from the first time. I don't want to do a temporary job, and we've got to leave. We've still got about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours of navigation to do, and it's getting really dark. And there's a ton of fishing nets here. So tomorrow, first thing, just like waking up on Christmas, can open our presents and start filling with all of this stuff, which I'm so excited for. So we're just going to hoist the anchor, weigh the anchor and head off. I mean, we have to get away from here because there is a strong south wind coming and this is one of the places you don't want to be. So let's go.
I'm usually the anchor girl, but today because of the rain, Ben went out there. for the check. How was that?
Invisible. Nice and wet.
We're not dragging, we're good, we made it!
Nice. Get it warm and watch it move. Christmas has arrived and it's time to play with our new presents. Yesterday it was getting really dark and we had to get back. We arrived in the pitch black with torrential rain, but today, beautiful. So everything's been welded into place, lots of little gadgets, lots of little cool things which we'll go over. Welding everything into place is one thing and putting into practice is another, which we're going to test soon with or without the engine. That's what I'm excited for. The first thing that I'm going to go over is these brackets. Before, there was a lot of movement lateral in these arms and this is preventing it. We have these two little rings which are kind of safety. So before going on a long trip, we're going to have a stainless clip here. So not only do we have this holding it up, but something solid that won't let anything move. Other than that, of course, we've got the rings here, here and here, which are going to be hoisting and lowering. Just like belaying pins and cleats on a boat, you can never have too many. So on this side and the starboard side, we had a bunch of rings welded, but they can be used for anything. Pass some lines to fasten some diving cylinders onto, hang stuff, fasten, and so on. Not only did we add the rings to replace the, what do they called? Clove hitches over here. The most, and probably the most important change is we have had reinforced the hinge over here. Initially it was one stainless plate from the davit and one of the arm going like so. What we have now is we've added another one to make it a lot sturdier. That's enough talking and explaining for now. You'll see a lot of it as we go along. So I'm going to take a lot of these temporary clove hitch thingies off and I'm going to start fastening them onto the rings, and then let's hoist that dinghy today.
New side and old side, way messier.
Gonna figure it out? I think with engine and petrol tank, the double block's gonna feel very heavy. Triple block might work, or an electric winch. Okay. Grab all your strength together, MP.
We're doing well.
No. Heavy. Okay, our goal is to lift with engine. We don't always want to be taking the engine off. So we'll add one pulley here on top and send it back and fasten down there and see if it works. One extra block on top. We're going to try this again and we're going to keep adding blocks until we can faster, okay? Go. No. Okay, drop it.
Is it going well?
No, not on my side. Two. One. Three, two, one. Okay, hang on, don't lift yours higher than mine. Lift a bit. Can't. DIY triple block on each side. If this doesn't work, we're going electric. Okay, tight. 3, 2, 1. Is your brake on? Heavy, but very doable. I think long term it would be good if one person could hoist a dinghy while one's weighing anchor and stuff like that. We didn't lift it further. One, we want to not have the propeller down in case it hits the platform, and two, the previous chain plates off. These stator here, so I'm going to go and get a grinder and cut these off. I can't unscrew them because the bottom part of them are what are holding the stays under the platform. But having these off is also going to allow the dinghy to come up a lot easier. So you can see this is the bit that's too much. Even this, I'm going to try and cut here because everything else is fastened onto the bottom plate. So maybe cut, I don't know. That wasn't too difficult. I think I'm through the stainless, cut all the way. Can you see here? It's hot now, but I'm going to take this out. Not necessary. Plug this with a little plug and round those edges, because you don't want the dinghy or anyone swimming around here to be like getting caught on those edges. Look at that. Special thread, extra thread. Alright, went through a bunch of different cutters and grinders, and what we ended up with is a platform without anything sticking out. I'll have to go over it with some primer and some paint, but look, I've also rounded the edges. Not the best work, but it's not easy upside down. Now though, it is time to put this into practice. We're going to hoist the dinghy with the engine. We're going to head out, there's a bit of wind so we'll sail, and we're going to visit an abandoned hotel. I don't know about you, but I know MP's a bit scared. But we're gonna do it. It's nice and sunny. How scary can it be? Really? Woo!
It's the first time that we're gonna travel with the dinghy up with the engine on.
And hanging.
And hanging.
We always drop it onto the platform, but it's good. On a long trip, like really long and wavy, we'll fasten it on to the davit. But as it's a lake out there, I think we're good. I think we're doing pretty good. What's that? 30 degrees apparent wind. And my favorite is our autopilot is doing a pretty good job. Holding course very nicely. In. Now we don't know exactly how to get there or what beach it is, and that's part of the adventure. Stay prepared. safe.
And here we are,
We are here.
off to another adventure. Last week we asked you guys a question,
Comment below if you want us to go and see this abandoned, spooky, haunted hotel.
which in hindsight was probably a mistake. By the way, to the kind sir who offered me $100 to spend the night at the hotel, thank you, but I'm going to have to politely decline with a firm no way in hell. Because even in broad daylight, I can't believe I'm actually here.
I can see it. Apparently this is the entrance. Creepier than we thought.
I don't want to be here, you want to be.
Look at that. Go. Wow, they've even made a little way up for us. Come on, up. Go. Good start. Whoa, look at this. It started.
I am the kind of person that, seriously, invite me to swim with sharks, go skydiving, climb a mountain, but don't invite me for spooky stuff. Not even a movie. No.
Let's go. Pallavi, look at this. The entrance of the haunted hotel is full of flowers. This can only mean good things. I'll follow you.
Why?
Let's go, doggies.
Oh, they're coming back. No energy either.
Do you remember the story?
I am so scared of these things. So this was a very nice hotel. It was working, it's not that it's just a building. And the owner died, unfortunately. And he had two sons that took over the hotel. Ooh, the dogs are crying. I really don't want to be here.
Go. It's fine, there's no one here. Upstairs to the right. This would have been a nice bedroom, a nice suite.
So the spooky story of this hotel is, it was a hotel that was working, it was not just a building. It was a very nice hotel with amazing views of this amazing beach. And unfortunately the owner died and his two sons took over the hotel. But the two brothers didn't seem to get along well. They didn't agree on many things. They started fighting a lot. And one brother killed the other. I'm telling what people say, right? Like the myth and the legend around the hotel story. So one brother killed the other for for greed, and a while later he also appeared dead in a hotel room, but no one knows how he died because it wasn't suicide. So it is a very creepy story indeed. And I just feel like this heavy energy of greed and envy I don't know. I don't like the story at all.
That's what makes it haunted.
And that's what makes this hotel haunted. And silly people come to check it out.
House number 2. I think the view in the first one was better than the second because this view has that include. But still pretty cool. Okay. It's a shame they're all empty. Imagine if they actually had furniture and stuff in.
They had to start with.
Was this a prison or something? Because the beds don't look very comfy.
The kind of thoughts I have that make me a scared person is like, imagine when we're editing this footage, we see that there is a shadow following us or something like that. And that's what creeps me out.
Would have been really nice to have a table overlooking the sea, having a cup of tea or breakfast. Okay, maybe there's more in the third one. That's probably the only thing that hasn't been stolen yet. The blind.
This was probably my favorite bit, because from that missing roof, we could see Yabá. For my taste, this was way more than enough ghost hunting for a day. Time to get back to something that feels like home. Our boat, the ocean, and the kind of adventure that I like, which is usually one that doesn't involve haunted places.
Let's go find out if our dinghy's still there. Come on. There's no more monsters. Except for you guys. Nice. Dinghy and Yabá. Let's head back because it's going to get wavy here.
My new favorite noise is this, the sails cutting the wind. Can you hear it?
Living on a boat is a mix of everything. Sailing, fixing, exploring and adapting. Some days it's pure freedom. Others it's hard work. And sometimes it's stepping into the unknown just to see what's out there. But that's the beauty of this life. It's never just one thing. It's not always easy, but it's always worth it. And as long as we keep moving and keep saying yes to adventure, we are exactly where we're meant to be.